Yo, what's up? With the new Forest Shadows update, Enlisted received a map picking system. How does it work? Simple. You find it next to your start button on the thumbs up icon. And here you can see all of the Enlisted maps sorted in 3 fronts. The Western Front includes Normandy, Tunisia and all of the then offensive maps. Eastern Front includes Berlin, Moscow, Stalingrad and Rezhev. And Pacific includes Pacific and Mianzara. For each of these fronts, you get a certain number of upvotes and downvotes. An upvote increases the chance for you to get this map. A downvote decreases it. Now, how does it work in detail? Well, first of all, these up and down votes, they are not hard coding what you get. Meaning, if you download something, it does not completely block the map, it just decreases the chance. Same thing goes for upvoting. You will not always get these maps, you just get an increased chance of getting this map. That's the first thing. Second thing to understand is, every couple weeks, Gaijin changes the map pool, meaning the probabilities of the maps are changed. So for example, if Gaijin thinks that this week you should play more Versumer Assault, they increase the chance for you to get this map, and then in addition to this base chance that Gaijin defines, you modify it by either increasing it further or decreasing it. So this means that if you're unlucky, some of the maps that you disliked will be highly favored by Gaijin this week, and then you still will get them quite often. Yeah, but if you're very lucky, the maps that Gaijin wants you to play are also the ones that you want, and then you're gonna get very high chances to get them. Yeah, and well, if you're neither lucky nor unlucky, then you just get, well, then the system works as you might think it works, so just average it out. But don't be surprised that many maps that you don't want to get, you still will get, and sometimes even constantly. Because if you get maps that you don't like constantly, that you actively disliked and downvoted, yeah, well, then you likely identified one of those maps that Gaijin tries to force on you right now. So yeah, this is how it works. Keep in mind, you only get a limited amount of ups and down votes. And as you can see, I know I used up all of them. And depending on the front, you're going to get less or more. Western Front is like a medium-sized one. Eastern Front is roughly twice as big, but only gets 1.5 times as many votes. And the Pacific Front is quite small and gets the least amount of votes. The majority of the player base agrees that these are way too small amounts of votes and they should be significantly increased. I personally recommended Gaijin to increase the Pacific to 10 or 15. The Eastern Front, they basically increase every one of them by 10. And then people can actually properly decide what they want to do. You can also, to make everything quicker, for example, if you absolutely don't want to play Assault, you can just click on Assault and then you will only be shown here Eastern Front Assault maps. And as you can see, I basically downvoted all of them because Assault is the worst game mode in the game. Destruction, well, I didn't really downvote. Conquest, I downvoted the bad maps. And the problem is here also evident. There are so many bad game modes that if you, for example, want to exclude Assault and half of Conquest, you barely have any downvotes left. And that's why, for example, I only have 1 confrontation downvoted, no destructions, and only a few invasions. Yeah, only 1 invasion actually. Yeah, another problem is some maps, very bad maps, like the Tractor Factory in Stalingrad, gets lots of modes. So in Invasion we get 1 mode. In Confrontation we get 1 mode. In Destruction we, I think, also get 1. Yes. In Assault we luckily don't get 1. But in Conquest we also get 1. So if you, we get 2, well, other Stalingrad version, but yeah. Like, there are way too few of these votes, because some maps are completely messing up the whole system, because some maps exist in 5 versions. Another problem is, the system is quite imprecise. For example, D-Day has 2 completely different modes, or map versions. Normal D-Day starts with Germans defending the beach and Americans attacking. But there's also a backwards D-Day, where the Germans attack and the Americans already control everything and are being pushed backwards into the sea. Now, obviously people don't like this mode because it's very ahistorical, and the whole structures are literally completely wrongly aligned because they're aligned to defend from the beach and not from the other side. So you basically cannot defeat properly as an American. And instead of having bunkers that shoot towards the enemy, you have bunkers that are open towards the enemy. So yeah, something like this isn't even sensitive in the system because you can't choose between which version you like and dislike. You can either like D-Day completely or dislike it completely. So yeah. Now my recommendation is you just spam the Enlisted social media with posts that you want additional numbers of these votes, because right now it barely works. But yeah, and for the end, for those who want to copy my votes, I base them on my map ranking guide, where I just said, alright, which maps are the worst, which are the best. So yeah, this is basically optimizing it. And well, the by far worst maps in the worst modes are basically all downvoted. So yeah, I'm gonna slowly scroll down, so you can just stop the video when you need it, and if you want you can just copy my setup. So this is first the Western Front. And now we get the Eastern Front. And for the end, we get the, well, small Pacific Front. Alright, that's it. Let me know what you think and what your experiences are so far. And of course, like the video if you learned something, and if you're new, of course subscribe to get more cool stuff about Enlisted and other games even too, soon in the future. And until soon, goodbye.